Hello, this is Collection Connected, and we're back with a new comic book day haul. Picked up a couple of things also from outside the comic book store, like the Walmart exclusive 100-page Giants. Batman number 3 was out. I've managed to miss out on all the number 2s except for one, so I got to try and find those. Also, the 100-page Giant Teen Titans number 3 was out. So I seen those at Walmart and had to grab them. I never would have thought when I went around and asked for all the displays, once the number 1's all sold out, I went to the stores and I asked them if I could have the display boxes that they kept the comics in. And they told me, yeah. I guess nobody really thought that they were going to be getting more in and it was something they were going to need. So I kind of shot myself in the foot because the Walmart's closest to me gave me all the display boxes, and now they have nowhere to put the comics. So they're kind of just crammed all over the place in the card section at these Walmarts because I got all the display boxes. So that's kind of annoying a little bit there. But we picked up Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons number 2. Somehow I missed number 1. I'm going to have to go back and see if I can find that somewhere. I also grabbed this X-Men Red number 1 just because I liked that X-23 cover. I don't follow X-Men or majority of what Marvel does anymore. Every time I pick up a book to try it out to see if it's worth returning, I find it's not. So, unfortunately, Marvel was all I collected for 20 years, probably, was the only comics I would buy was Marvel. But I had to give it up. I don't agree with their storylines anymore. I grabbed this Wonder Woman 55. I had to get that one instead of the B cover just because it's got Wonder Woman tied up. So it goes back to the old bondage covers that they used to do with Wonder Woman. I have a lot of those, and I've been thinking about trying to put together a list to cover them all because I can't find a list of them anywhere. So the only ones I know is just from ones I've seen out hunting and, collected them up and brought them back. So it's hard to find a complete list of what they consider the Wonder Woman bondage covers. I picked up Stranger Things number 1, which is going to tell about what they were like in the Upside Down while he was trapped over there. So that'll be interesting. Picked up this gorgeous Batgirl 27. It's a really great cover. I mean, DC's B covers are just amazing. It's hard to beat them. Beast of Burden number 2. Again, somehow I missed out on number 1. I love the Beast of Burden. I have the original series. I got the crossover with Hellboy. I need to track down number 1 so I need to track down the number 1 so I can read that series. Picked up the new Detective Comics B cover. That's alright. It wasn't the best, but picked up this Rick and Morty done in like a old classic 50s style art. I'd actually went out this weekend and was hunting around and picked up a couple of newer books that I had missed out on at some point. The Nightwing 46. That's just another great cover. Found this old Michael Turner Spider-Man Red Sonja. That one's great. Also, really loved Michael Turner's art. Somehow I missed the Batman 54B cover. I found that this weekend. There was actually some other books that I had found when I was out, but I kind of spaced out about sharing them, and I already put them up in my boxes. I found the Amazing Spider-Girl #1 black and white variant. I think that was the most notable book I found this weekend while I was out. And of course, I picked up the True Believer's Hellcat to keep my other books from getting sweaty fingerprints on them. And I was at this one store. I got this foreign Spanish book. I think it was called Jewels of Mythology. And I got it for the bondage cover. The girl's tied up and being bricked in. Apparently that was a weekly strip or weekly comic that came out. So the store had 2 boxes of them, and I flipped through and grabbed that one. I didn't pay the $20 for it. I just put it in an old bag and board that I had around here that would fit it. I think it was like $4. It's not in the best of shape. If I go back for more, I'll try and negotiate and get a deal. But it was my first time in that shop, and I wanted to get him on my side and let him know that I was willing to spend. So I picked up a couple of things from him. It's one of those old-fashioned shops with just stacks and stacks to the ceiling. You could barely walk in. It had long boxes all the way down both walls and in the middle, and you had about 4 foot of space in those walkways. But then on top of all the long boxes stacked to the ceiling were statues, toys, just you name it, any kind of collectible memorabilia was the boxes were stacked on top of the long boxes, making it hard to look. But it's one of those places, I'm sure they just had so much stuff. They'd been in the same spot since 1974. So anything you were looking for, I imagine you have a good shot of finding it there. It's the first store I've went into that had runs of Eerie, Creepy, and Vampirilla, the old magazines. And they had an entire box of really high-grade Vampirillas, and they were just sitting in a box on top of the comics, just laying down. So that was, they need to get those bagged and boarded and put up before they get damaged. But they just had a lot of old stuff, and the guy told me he had 2 more boxes of foreign that he was going to bring in. And speaking of, I was at another comic book shop this weekend, and this guy, he wanted all of his comics to lay on their back. When I started standing them up in the long boxes, he told me he didn't want them standing up in the long boxes because he's afraid it would damage the bottom of the book. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what? They're bagged and boarded, and everybody stores them standing up. But not this guy. He wanted them stacked on top of, stacked laying down in a big pile inside of the box. I was like, all right, well, if that's the way you want them, that was definitely a little weird, but he's just opening up, and that's where I found the Michael Turner, and I found the Amazing Spider-Girl variant cover there. I'm not really sure how he had a signed Michael Turner book, but I'm pretty sure that was a fake signature because it was Teen Titans #1 Michael Turner variant. He wanted $40 for it, and I got a lot of Michael Turner sig stuff, and I was afraid that was a fake, so I didn't go for it. He also had the Supergirl black and white variant Michael Turner cover there. I almost bought it, but I got multiples of that one, so. But he's just got boxes and boxes of stuff. He's just now opening the store, and he hasn't even gone through a lot of his stuff. And I kind of question if he even knows what he's got. So I'll probably go back there and flip through some stuff again. He had multiples of the first Captain Britain just sitting around. He hadn't priced. He had the entire run of Suicide Squad. He had the first appearance of Amanda Waller. Just all kinds of stuff sitting around in there. And he was just kind of pricing it by memory. You just pick it up, ask him, he'd come up with a price. So no new Batman Damned. Looks like the restocks around here at least came in on Friday and sold out on Friday. I don't know if everybody's got theirs. I would assume by now that's wanting them, or they're all flipping them for the outrageous price, waiting for it to come back down and buy it again. I don't think it's gonna maintain the $150 price mark, but we'll see how that goes. I think it'll come back down. It's a really great story, and artwork is amazing on that one. So I'm looking forward to the Harley Quinn cover, the next issue with Harley Quinn on the cover. That cover just blows me away. I already pre-ordered 2 copies of it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys all had good pickups on your new comic book day.